Hello, what is going on, you guys? I'm bringing you my second series on the channel with the Indianapolis Colts. It's a Madden 18 franchise series. Um, Reason why I chose the Colts is um, many people don't think they're a rebuilding team, but they are. As you can see real quick, taking over as the owner with Jeff Saturday, as he has bought the team from Jim Irsay. But the Colts is a team. Um, they're really in a rebuilding stage. They had their window after drafting Andrew Luck and missed on it. Their division is really open, and they haven't been able to capitalize on it. And Chuck Pagano's on the hot seat. This is probably going to be a prove it year for him. See what you can do. If he can't get it done, then I'm pretty sure Jeff Saturday is going to look for other coaches to come in and turn this team around. Um, but to start the series, week one, of course, we're playing the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are back in LA. But we're going to quickly go over the roster and how it's broke down. We're going to talk about what areas I want to improve, what I think needs to be improved, um, and what pieces are here to stay. Obviously, Andrew Luck's here to stay. T.Y. Hilton's here to stay. Both of those are stars in this league. Um, Andrew Luck is a franchise quarterback, and T.Y. Hilton is a star receiver for this team. Outside of Andrew Luck, Scott Tolzien's not a good backup. Stephen Morse is a developmental guy. Running back position, obviously, that's going to need to be addressed soon. As Frank Gore's 34. He's not going to be able to keep this up much longer. Robert Turbin's not a fix. Marlon Mack is an interesting player. We'll just have to see how he develops. Wide receiver core, Hilton's a number one. Dante Moncrief, in my opinion, is a 3-4 guy. I don't think he's a proven number two receiver. Outside of that, there's not a lot of help at that receiver position for the Colts. Tight end, you got Jack Doyle. Offensive line needs work. You've got left tackle Constanzo. Left guard needs help. Brian Kelly is going to be a good center for this team. I'm not sold on the right guard, and I'm definitely not sold on the right tackle. Three out of the five positions on the offensive line definitely need to be addressed. The whole defensive unit as a whole needs to be addressed. You've got a young right end in Basham. Margus Hunt was a bust. Defensive tackle isn't bad. You got Jonathan Hankins, who's 25, a very solid player for Chuck Pagano's 3-4. Left end kind of still worries me. Anderson's still got to prove it. Linebackers also worry me. Jabal Sheard is still a very capable player. He's getting up there in age. He's 28. You don't Mount is a developmental guy. Middle linebacker is a albatross. Sean Spence, that whole linebacking core is terrible. And right outside linebacker, you've got John Simon and Barcavis Mingo. I almost like Mingo more as a end than I do a linebacker. I think he's a more better pass rusher. I don't think he's all that good in coverage or in man. John Simon could get some looks in coverage more than Mingo. We'll have to see with that. Cornerbacks, you have Vontae Davis, who's getting up there in age, but he is a stud cornerback nonetheless. Very good cornerback. He was good in Miami. You have Darius Butler, who's up there in age, and then you have rookie Quincy Wilson that we just took in the draft this past year. Malik Hooker is also going to be a very good player for us. The future at free safety. Drafted out of Ohio State in the first round this year. Looking for a lot of development from him. And strong safety isn't bad. You have Gathers. And of course, at kicker, you have the ageless winner Adam Vinatieri. And at punter, we have a developmental guy and Jeff Locke. He is 27, so I think, depending upon how he's doing throughout the season, if he's struggling, we may look into bring somebody else. If we get to the off season, I may look for somebody younger that's as good. He's only rated as a 73, 74, or I may look for a more veteran guy. But I'm going to go ahead and cut Chester Rogers. I don't have a use for him. I don't like him. He's not a good special teams guy, and I'd rather bring in somebody else. I'm also going to come in here and I'm cutting one of the linebackers. We have four linebackers. I think we only need three. And it's going to come down between John Bostic, the former Chicago Bears draft pick, and Jeremiah George, who is younger than Bostic. They're about the same even players. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up cutting John Bostic. I'm going to look at the stats here. Um, I just, I the middle linebacking core is so bad. There's not a quick fix for it. I think the draft is the only way to go with it. Um, I don't know what free agency is going to have. And I'm going to go in here with our two open roster spots now. I'm going to sign a wide receiver, and another need we need outside of course, linebacking. We need a fullback. We don't have a fullback on roster, so I'm going to come in here, and I end up signing Trent Taylor, the rookie out of Louisiana Tech. He has some good hands. He's rated at 81 overall with hands. He is a great route runner. He has great speed, or actually he's an 82 route runner. He has great acceleration. He kind of reminds me of a Wes Welker. Before Wes Welker started getting old, prime New England Patriots Wes Welker. I'm also going to come in here and I'm going to end up signing Alan Cross. I didn't want to bring in an old veteran guy. I wanted to bring in a young guy that we could possibly develop. Alan Cross is only 24. I ended up narrowing it down between Lonnie Pryor, Tyler Renew, Alan Cross, Zach Line, and I believe Ray Agnew. But I ended up signing Alan Cross when I got down breaking down the stats. Cross had, I think, the better stats out of all those younger guys. I looked at the two older guys, didn't want to go that route. But out of those younger guys, Alan Cross did have the better routes. This is his second year in the league. I think he can be a very good developmental fullback for us. And getting him in, I thought was the best choice for the team. And like I said, the linebacking, offensive line, receivers, running back. I mean, almost everywhere on this team's need outside of quarterback and really quarterback. And then, of course, sliders for the series. I'm playing on all Madden. I'll get to that later in the video. Playing on all Madden. I did come in here and tweak some of the sliders. Nothing drastic, but the fatigue and the player threshold I tweaked. And I believe I also tweaked the injuries. Just some offline testing that I've done. I didn't like what they were to begin with, so I went here and changed these, and I liked how they are now. And I'm going to get into practice and show you just some practice, and we're going to talk more about the team needs. Cornerback needs to be addressed. I think the big key needs, if I was to put it in any order, offensive line, middle linebacker. Cornerback is kind of a concern. It just depends. Darius Butler's old. It depends if he declines any this year or not. Definitely running back, wide receiver depth outside of Moncrief. I'm not real high on Brady Aiken. We'll have to see how Trent Taylor develops. I think Trent Taylor could turn into a number 3 guy. Really high end number 2, but I think his ceiling is a 3-4 guy. I think Moncrief could turn into a number 2 receiver, but I just haven't seen it yet. I need him to prove it to me and develop into one. Tight end, Jack Doyle's good. I think tight end is a not so pressing concern. I think it does need to be looked at, but Jack Doyle is a good receiver. He's turned into outside T.Y. Hilton, Andrew Luck's go-to man. defense, but like I said, linebacker, offensive line, and then outside of that, just start getting best players where you can. Backup quarterback is concerned. If Luck goes down to Scott Tolzien, I'm not sold on Scott Tolzien at all. I really didn't want to bring in a free agent quarterback. So if Luck goes down this year, it's Scott Tolzien. And if Tolzien goes down, then it's the Miami product, Stephen Morse. Um, I am looking forward to this series. The Colts, their division's wide open. The Jaguars, Titans, and Houston, they all, out of the four teams in that division, Houston's won the division the most here lately, and that's due to the Colts' inability to capitalize. That's due to the Titans' inability to capitalize, and the Jaguars just haven't been good. They've loaded up on defense this year. The Titans are a very intriguing team. They have the talent. It's just a matter of the coaching. And Houston, they've got Watson, so that's going to be another story to unfold. I think it should be a fun series, and I'm looking forward to what we can turn this team into. I want this to get this team back to their championship ways, their AFC powerhouse challenging Tom Brady and the Patriots and Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. Now I'm going to go in here and show you the XP sliders. I've got it set to every 4 weeks. I'm personally going to do the experience points where I'm boosting the players. I don't want the computer to do it because the computer tends to throw it all on one area, and it's bad, horrible. Just another part of the game I don't like. It's a very solid overall game. That's just one area I don't like. But hopefully, scouting, I think the best route for at least middle linebacker, the linebackers, and defensive line for that, I think is going to be the draft. I think come off season, which we're far away from that, I think trying to look maybe possibly for a stopgap on the defensive line in free agency and possibly offensive line, but those linebacker and offensive line are my biggest concerns and worries for this team. And of course, Chuck Pagano's on the hot seat. Pagano's got to prove it this year. We're not laying down. Division's wide open. We want to be a playoff team. We want to win games this year. We're not wanting to tank and get a number 1 overall pick. I do think this team is very capable, just based upon the teams inside the division, how weak the AFC overall. You get outside of New England, Pittsburgh, really outside of those two, it's wide open. It's anybody's game to make the playoffs. Chiefs are a very tough team too, but I think a wild card spot this year is very possible. I think winning the division is very possible. It's going to come down to what we can do in the division and outside the division as we're going to get over the schedule. The first 2 games are very tough. At Rams, we have the Cardinals. We get a cupcake game of the Browns. Browns are bad. They're the Cleveland Browns. Then a road game with the Seahawks. Through the NFC West for the non-conference, and also the Patriots division. So Broncos are on there, Ravens. And quickly we're going to go over the Rams. Some of their star players. You've got Jared Goff, Aaron Donald, Todd Gurley. Those are going to be players we have got to stop week 1, as I'm very excited for this series. I hope y'all are going to be excited for it. And I'm looking forward to what we can build this team into. A championship team, and we're going to have a very tough test week 1 against the Los Angeles Rams. I'm Pred Hunter Gaming, and I'm out.